Hello, my travelers. It's the Avalon and AmaWaterways River Cruise Showdown. Hi, I'm Alicia with Evening Star Travel, and I'm a travel advisor specializing in European river cruising. Today, I'm so excited to help you decide between two of the most popular river cruise lines, Avalon Waterways and AmaWaterways. If you've been dreaming about a river cruise, you've probably come across these two lines in your research, but how do you choose the best one? What's really the differences between the two of them? And that's where I come in. I've personally sailed on both Avalon Waterways and AmaWaterways, and I'm here to tell you some of the differences and what my experiences were like. So let's talk about what these have in common. Both of them will offer you a luxurious small ship experience. The max amount of passengers you're going to get is about 168. That does depend on what ship you're on, but for the most part, it's 168 guests or less. So that's fantastic. You'll find spacious, luxurious accommodations. So these rooms are quite roomy for what you see in the industry. So always make sure to compare it with the size of your cabin. I find that for two people, you want to have about 200 square feet to be comfortable. And that's in your living space, not counting any outside balcony. Both lines include all of your meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And really, you're going to get an upscale food experience with regionally inspired cuisine. Both of them have similar all-inclusive perks. So that's an excursion in every port. Wi-Fi on board. You're going to get wine and beer with lunch and dinner, plus soft drinks, plus coffee. Plus you get other beverages throughout the day. Plus you get access to a cruise director who's going to help guide you through the entire cruise experience. Now let's dive into how they're different. With Avalon Waterways, you have their signature panorama suites. I love these cabins. The wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling window opens up to make a French balcony it's almost like part of your cabin. It doesn't take up any extra space, so you can utilize your cabin, that space that's kind of like the balcony, even when that patio door is closed. Those beds that face the window, you can just lay in bed, enjoy a coffee, and see the world go by. It's actually one of my favorite parts of river cruising. Whereas with AmaWaterways, their staterooms or their cabins feature twin balconies. So you have a French balcony as well as a step outside traditional balcony. Being able to step outside and enjoy that is absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit of the best of both worlds. I do find though that the views, it's not as nice a view because your view is interrupted by that gap. So it's maybe not as nice a view, but being able to step outside is really nice. The space in the cabin is very similar to the space that you'd get on Avalon. So you're not taking away any space. So if panorama views, like getting that view, is high on your priority list, you'd probably lean towards Avalon. But if you really want to have that step outside balcony, then AmaWaterways is probably what you're looking for. Next, let's talk about the onboard entertainment and atmosphere. With Avalon Waterways, their common spaces have a more relaxed, open vibe. They really want to maximize that view, so they've left their common areas very open so you can see the view from anywhere you are. This does encourage lots of mingling and socializing, which is really fantastic, but overall it is a more laid-back vibe. Live music, sometimes some lectures, occasionally they'll bring on some local performers to just give you that local flair. With AmaWaterways, though, it's a bit more intimate. You've got a bit more cozy spaces where you can have a small group or even go one-on-one for socializing. It also in the evening is a little bit more lively, a little bit more upbeat with their music and entertainment, getting some dancing going. There's even a pool on the sun deck, so that can be a lot of fun. That's a feature you won't find on Avalon, though they do have a hot tub. So if you prefer a relaxed atmosphere with lots of open spaces and great views, Avalon's probably for you. But if you want more cozy and intimate while still getting some energy and entertainment, then you're leaning towards AmaWaterways. When it comes to excursion and activities, both lines offer great options, but they do differ. With Avalon, you typically get 1 or 2 excursions per port, usually a standard excursion, and then a more active excursion. And then other excursions are available at an additional cost. This is a little bit where Avalon's lower price point comes into effect. So you pay a little bit more for some of those additional excursions. However, they also have a line where it's considered an active and discovery cruise, where almost all of the excursions are included, and they do a big focus on active and discovery. So hiking, biking, kayaking, paint classes, cultural immersion, that type of thing. They get really in depth on that. I love that Avalon gives you a few different ways to enjoy, however, with AmaWaterways, all of their excursions are included. So you really do get to pick and choose what you want. They do certainly have some active excursions. There was several biking tours. I did a lot of hiking excursions while I was on my latest cruise, but it's not necessarily their focus. AmaWaterways is more well known for their wine and foodie cruises. So if that's the way you're leaning towards, that might be something that may interest you. Now let's talk about one of my favorite parts, the food. With Avalon, they offer flex dining. So you can eat wherever and whenever you want for supper. Now breakfast and lunch are buffet. However, they do have a lot of made-to-order items that you can order from a menu. That being said, dinner is a 4-course plated meal, and fantastic. Their soups at lunch, cannot miss. They're absolutely fantastic. I haven't had better soups on any type of cruise. They're so good. And I do love having the club lounge at the back of the ship, where you have self-serve coffee, water station, as well as snacks. That's a really nice touch. I really loved to be able to go and do that. Now with AmaWaterways, they step it up a notch. So their feature is the chef's table, which they take that rear lounge that Avalon has, and instead they have a chef's table experience. This is a 7-course plated dinner with wine pairing and is absolutely spectacular. And that being said, even in their main dining room, their food is fantastic as well. It's a 4-course plated dinner as well. But their chef's table, that's all included. Everybody gets the opportunity to eat there once. After everybody's got an opportunity to eat there once, then it opens up to kind of like a free-for-all for whoever wants to go back to the chef's table. But that is included with your cruise fare. Now, one thing I did find with AmaWaterways is that they also do a plated 4-course meal for lunch. I found it a little bit formal for the style of dining that I do. I really enjoy that for supper, but for lunch, I just kind of wanted to grab and go. And there are options for that, but I don't know, the 4-course plated meal, it just wasn't my style. So while the food was very good, a little too formal for me. So prefer a little bit more casual style, take a look at Avalon, but really want that fine dining experience on the Waterways. Finally, let's talk pricing and value. Realistically, both of these river cruise lines offer a great value.
Avalon Waterways
does tend to price a touch lower, but it has less inclusions. They still offer a high-end experience, and they often also have special promotions, discounted air, reduced rates. They're really a great value. AmaWaterways does tend to price a little bit higher, but they have way more inclusions with all of their excursions, plus that chef's table experience. So if you're looking for a more upscale, inclusive experience, AmaWaterways is the way to go. And I do find that if you book them far enough out, so as far out as possible, you can get some really great deals. Like right now for 2026, they've got some really fantastic promotions going on right now. So which one is better? Which one do you pick? Well, it really does depend on your travel style. I absolutely adore Avalon's cabins. The beds that face the window, those giant panoramic suites, to die for. But on AmaWaterways, I loved their cozy spaces. Their chef's table experience can't be missed. I don't know. I don't know which one I'd pick between the two of them. I do really enjoy both of them. The service was maybe a touch better, but it could have been also because there weren't as many passengers on board while I sailed with them. And that's not to say there's nothing wrong with Avalon's service. It was great service on board. It felt like there was a few more service people on AmaWaterways. Tough to say. I'm really torn between the two of them. But that being said, if you're anything like me, you might be torn between the two of them. I can absolutely help you narrow it down, find out what's important to you to help you decide. Choosing the right river cruise line can feel overwhelming, but I'm here to help. This is what I specialize in, and I can help you choose the right itinerary on the right line for the best price. Don't hesitate to reach out today to get started. I can't wait to help you make your river cruise dreams come true. I'm Alicia with Evening Star Travel. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and happy travels, everyone.